GN News.
All right, Julian, thanks. Well, more protections for justices. In recent years, threats and inappropriate communications have more than quadrupled.
And right now, Congress is debating a bill that focuses on protecting their private information online. WGN's Julie Unruh spoke with an area judge who supports doing more to keep the men and women on the federal bench safe. Julie.
20 years on the federal bench, and you'd think a judge would have seen it all. Well, in 2005, Judge Joan Lefkoe, a U.S. district judge from the Northern District of Illinois, suffered an unimaginable loss when a bitter litigant from her courtroom didn't get the decision he wanted. When a similar incident played out in New Jersey this summer, Judge Lefkoe understood that judge's pain in a way the rest of us simply cannot. As a result, Lefkoe continues to support further protections for judges nationwide. A bill's before Congress right now, and this time, those safeguards would make it a crime to post a judge's personal information in the cyber world.
I mean, all of us judges are, I would say, vulnerable in a way that other members of the public typically are not.
Because Judge Joan Lefkoe's making weighty, typically life-altering decisions every day in her courtroom atop the Dirksen Federal Building. Defendants at her mercy, litigants hoping and sometimes praying for a legal miracle. They may be at the end of their rope. Her decision could be their last hope.
The law does not do what these litigants expect it to do. That is, they have a sense that they've been wronged, and indeed they may well have been wrong, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to win a judgment against someone who wronged them.
It was February 28th of 2005 when the judge entered her home on the north side to find both her husband, Michael Lefkoe, and her 89-year-old mother, Donna Humphrey, murdered. It would be days before the killer would surface across the border in Wisconsin. He killed himself before police could make an arrest. This past summer, U.S. District Judge Esther Salas lost her only son in New Jersey when a gunman dressed as a FedEx driver claimed to be delivering a package to their family home. He shot her son when 20-year-old Daniel opened the door.
Conversation of marriage.
15 years ago, Judge Lefkoe made the trip to Washington to get more money allocated to the U.S. Marshals Service. She wanted to enhance personal protection for judges who've been threatened. It worked. 10 years ago, a law was enacted in her family's name so private information could be tracked back to her workplace, the courthouse, not her home. Things like her driver's license and car registration.
That legislation also provided for every judge who wanted it to have electronic security system in their homes.
Perhaps the most vulnerable place for a judge, as in the case of both judges Lefkoe and Salas. Now it's Judge Salas's turn. She's taking Judge Lefkoe's protections one step further in Washington to protect what's called personally identifiable information, or PPI, that's found online. She's lobbying for Daniel's Law, which prohibits addresses and phone numbers of judges to be posted online in any form. Before Judge Lefkoe's husband was killed, he had run for Circuit Court of Cook County. Election law then required him to post his personal information publicly. Since then, that's not required here anymore. Between 2015 and 2019, threats and other inappropriate communications against federal judges and other judiciary personnel increased from over 900 to nearly 4,500. And roughly 4 federal judges have been killed over the past 40 years. None of it enough to slow down Judge Lefkoe. She's pressing on, finding joy in her 5 daughters and 13 grandchildren, and remaining on the bench, a true calling, even after she was tested in ways most people will never fully understand.
I do love what I do in my career. I could be retired. I keep thinking I'll hang up my robe, but I'm still doing it. And I feel very honored to have been given that responsibility.
Love seeing her smile. Daniel's Law just passed in New Jersey on November 20th. It reportedly has bipartisan support on the federal level as it continues to run its way through Congress right now. Judge Salas and others behind it are hoping for a vote before the end of the year. These really strong women, powerful voices on this issue.
Definitely. I remember that case vividly, Judge Lefkoe.
It's a hard one to forget.
Oh, definitely. Thank you, Julie.
Appreciate that. Well, TikTok may be doing